Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. My name is DFree, and for today's video, we're going to be using the new revival Frieza on what I consider to be the best Lineage of Evil team in the game. So if you guys enjoyed today's video, hit that thumbs up and subscribe. And today's video like goal is going to be 1,500. And if you are new to the channel, like I said, subscribe for more content like this, and also stay tuned for more videos on this Frieza. Also stay tuned for videos on the Kaioken Goku, and maybe, just maybe, both of them on the same team. It's coming. Anyways, that being said, you're looking at this team, you're wondering, wait, why is that the best team? Let me go ahead and tell you just briefly. The first four are the best characters on the team. Chilled is very, very good, actually. Chilled's actually probably going to be really underrated. I like Chilled a lot, even when not versus Super Saiyans, but I'm not going to use him in any matches outside of a Super Saiyan matchup. He is also Zenkai boosting Frieza. It's not going the other way, though, because Frieza doesn't do it for Chilled. But on top of that, though, Cooler is in the last spot, well, second to last spot, because he is offering the Zenkai buff, and really that spot is the flex spot. Now, let me kind of say this. I, when it came down to it, thought that the two LF Friezas and the blue Frieza were the best trio. Really, seriously, and honestly, when you look at the way that they're built, I talked about this in my 3 Things to Know video, so I'm not really going to do a breakdown for this Frieza here. But just know, the sub count down here, the green card draw is all very powerful effects for this team. There's other disruption in here like sealing that's very powerful. Speaking of disruption, there's Dragon Ball removal, and wouldn't you know it, this time he draws a blue and more sub count down. This team loves greens, this team loves blues. Speaking of blues, there's going to be another one put in the deck. They're all going to do a lot of blue card damage. They have different utility on them, like the other LF Frieza doing the AoE damage on the other enemies. And all of their green cards are very powerful, but the two LF Friezas particularly very powerful because they also reduce sub count effects. And really what that means is that if you pay attention throughout this video, these characters can switch quite often. They're very powerful. They've got things like knockbacks, very powerful revivals and stuff like that. So really, honestly, the last thing they kind of need is another red character. Now you may say, okay, what about him? I like him a lot. I think he's pretty good, but I don't think he's good enough for the current climate of the game. But I do think, again, he's probably a little underrated. I like how he's built. I like the Dragon Ball, the green card, all that stuff. I don't think he's good enough. What about Cooler? Cooler is probably the only character that's a summonable Zenkai that I don't have at Zenkai 7. And the reason why I didn't bother doing it was because I didn't really too much care for his kit. But I will say that if you have Cooler, you got him fully built up, you like him, more power to you. I don't think he's good enough either, but I do think he has good disruption, good sustainability, party heal, I believe, on main ability here. Yeah, so he's got stuff that's pretty useful. I just don't think he's good enough either for today's meta. What I'm looking for in a red character on this team would probably be somebody that either does some combination of nullifying covers or has anti-revival. This team otherwise is pretty much set. The only other minor gripe that I have is for this dude. I didn't finish his friendship, so he didn't get the... No, I did finish the friendship. How did I miss this? What did I do? Maybe I didn't exchange something. I should have got that. I just was busy. Anyways, the 14 stars. Anyways, the only gripe I kind of have is he's a melee character, and this team doesn't have a ton of melee arts cards in the deck when you're using those other Friezas because they're all blast-based. But other than that, he's the 4th best character on this team, and he has, wouldn't you know it, reducing Dragon Balls. They all have ally buff mechanics, and wouldn't you know it, shortened sub count by default. These characters are very good. They have great synergy, as you would imagine. They can switch very often, and Chilled is a flex option you can put into some matches. But overall, I really like this team, man. Seriously, I think this Revival Frieza is what this team needed desperately. So for today's video, it's going to be a little bit different. This video is going to be centered around post-com. I've been doing that a little bit lately. I think you guys have been enjoying it. But let me know if you don't like it and if I should go back and maybe balance it more. I don't know. But this is going to be a longer video with post-com. I was going to actually just leave this one as just a match without post-com so you guys could get a different feel and watch it from there and see if you guys like that. But I decided I'd watch the marathon with you. But anyways, took a while to get through this. Hope you all enjoy. And here is match number 1, guys. Here we go. Oof, that art. Okay, so for this one, we have a match versus a future team. So this is one of the first matches I played with the Frieza, so I'm probably going to mix the ordering up. In fact, I probably already did, obviously. But typically, the first few matches, I'm still trying to feel out the character, learn what I want to do with them, etc. So I expected him to switch there. He's lucky I didn't have a blue in hand because I would have got some really good, speaking of a blue, I would have got some really good early damage on the green element character. So we're going to go ahead and sub out here. One thing I'll do quite often is I'll throw out this Frieza just to get rid of a Dragon Ball and kind of manage that. Because again, this team does have like a lot of Dragon Ball manipulation, stuff like that. Overall, like really well-designed characters. Here for the full screen strike, assuming that would hit. Not so sure as to why. I did vanish, but we do have disadvantage here. We're going to pop the main, and I could have done it a little bit sooner, but it's okay. We're going to get this switch and go for the green again. Watch the blue Frieza's counts go from 10 to 6 now. Went to 3, then moved to 6. Now it's at 5. He's already almost back. We land the blue. We land another blue. And blue Frieza, speaking of which, is literally available to sub back in. And that is exactly what I'm talking about. Huge shout out to this Frieza, by the way. Well, they're all Frieza, but the LF yellow Frieza specifically, he is going to be nullifying endurance left and right. Really, truly, and honestly, the other Friezas, the way I play them is I try to let them kind of stay as defensive options as much as possible. I mean, there's a lot of healing between these Friezas and a lot of support. They dig, again, as you would imagine, they mesh very well. I've said it so many times by now. But I try to really let this Frieza be my damage dealer because he's probably the best one at it in most of the cases. And try to let him be the finisher out there. So he went for that. I assume that strike was a play that he would have used, assuming I would have vanished. I'm not so sure as to why, but again, whatever the case is, this is unfortunate because I was trying to save that LF, so I kind of got a little bit, you know, a little bit out of my normal feel there. So we do get the Frieza's effect to pop off, but I mean, this match at this point is just a formality. I knew he wanted that because he tried it so often, and I actually land the LF because I assumed he would go for a strike there, which he did, and we actually get the LF. So first impression on him for the first match was the Blue Frieza is actually, like I said, a character that you can kind of use as a defensive option. That's what I probably will wind up doing in most of these matches. That means that he's going to be on my bench, or not on the bench, but not actually one of the characters, or specifically the character that's in the match a lot of the time. I'm going to be trying to sub him in when I can to eat some hits, get a couple cheap combos, sub him back out, you know, things like that, because I really value having him as an option to just soak up a Rising Rush. Really, truly, and honestly, the only real problem for this team is probably going to be SS4 Gogeta. Now, obviously, the tag characters, Gogeta, you know, like, these characters that are just super good are a problem. Bardock can be a problem, I guess. Like, these characters that are just very powerful, recent releases, Trunks, you know, they're all problems. But the real problem is SS4 Gogeta, because he's got element advantage versus one, he's got neutrality versus the other, and then on top of that, he's got the stupid anti-Rising Rush stuff, where if you have the unique equip for him, he's going to get in 4 Dragon Ball. So if I come across him, I'm probably going to try my hardest to make sure that, even if it means that I sacrifice one of these other Friezas, because I try my hardest not to let him get the revive to activate, because 4 Dragon Ball swing is just too much. Drop combo there, expected the switch, all I have is a blast that would have knocked me back. A little bit of slight lag here. This Frieza he doesn't have the endurance yet, but this Frieza just nullifies all the time. So, like I said, I'm going to use him a lot as an option throughout these matches to really just KO these characters. So, okay, that was expected. I do pick up another blast, and you remember in the beginning where I said this team has a ton of blasts, where I don't really love the green Frieza all that much. I like him. I like his design. I think he's been well built. But this team almost needs like a strike version of it, because these Friezas just really want to use blasts and blues and greens and don't really care that much for strike cards, and we don't really have that many in the deck. We don't draw it that often. He went for that for whatever reason, and again, at this point, the match is just a formality. These 2 Friezas on the team are hard carrying the Revive Frieza up to this point, but the key takeaway is the full synergy. Again, the way that they play together, the disruption, the fact that I have a Revive as an option on my team so people can't just rush if they don't, you know, they can't just throw that rush whenever they want anymore. Just the fact that we have the option to do these things is really what you need to take away from these first couple of matches here. And for the next one, we have a match versus a female warrior team. This one is going to be pretty tough. So they're getting it's not 50%, it's like 30s probably from the 2 EXs, and then also the blue-purple buffs as well, with I believe 18 in the leader slot. This is the first time I've seen 18 in a very long time, but she's very problematic for my team. So it's funny because ironically I was talking about how this team doesn't really have too many problems, but 18 I guess would be one of the few that could be a true problem for this team. Because she can kind of go off in terms of damage output if you switch too much, and this team kind of likes to switch. So she's almost the antithesis of this team's playstyle. This is a very greedy play for me. Decided to still do it though. Get the follow-up and actually lands. Not upset about that. If it didn't, I would have went for the green post-vanish. Frieza's animations are extremely quick, so I might have got it. Not so sure. I haven't tried that personally. But I couldn't let that Frieza take too many hits because I just felt like she would just do too much. So I switched, and off the bat, she's got all these buffs and the buff from the the other 21. So switching again, cardinal sin versus 18. You do not want to switch this much. I kind of just felt like I had no choice, when really, in hindsight, I should have just let that purple Frieza take a couple more hits and try to prolong it as long as I could. But this is a match where, you know, the last couple it wasn't really so much, but this is a match where the revive is on the table for me. Because I will probably definitely need to have it. So if I had a strike there, maybe things go a little differently. Actually, no, because he went immediately into it. But nonetheless, though, I'm not upset. We do get the revive. Frieza revives with not full HP, which is pretty typical, I guess. So, okay, he does land the green. Didn't expect that, but I'm not really upset about it. The key reduction is kind of annoying. He's going to land another one, I believe. Yep, good reaction speed from him. He's using those extra greens that the 18 kind of put in his hand from the switches, I believe. If I recall correctly, it's been a while since I've read her kit or used her in any way. We're going to go ahead and clash here with the blasts. Didn't want to use the vanish. I assumed that I would get him here because I thought he would actually vanish. Coincidentally, I don't know if he didn't vanish on purpose or if it didn't register, but it doesn't matter because it worked out in his favor. He didn't get that, and he actually wanted to give me priority. He did a drop combo there. I'm kind of upset I didn't even think that far ahead. Typically, I'm the one thinking that far ahead. But I'm kind of in a no man's land type of position here because if he decides to switch out to 18, I'll be in a very bad spot. Another thing with that blue 21 is the rising rush control that she has built into her kit. I didn't expect this here, by the way. Slight drop combo. I believe he does another one. Yep. Did not expect those. So he's really playing kind of weird and stuff that's kind of like easily exploitable, but it's working on me because I'm not expecting it and I'm not making the adjustment either. So much of this game is trying to figure out the way the opponent plays and then make the requisite adjustment that you would need. I got what I needed there. We get the stop clock, and that worked out in my favor. Feels almost like this is the first time I've really been able to get priority. Probably truly is. So we're going to go ahead and go for this. I believe I go for the ult here. No, the green. Okay. So I pull the green, draw the blast. One thing that's also very good about this Frieza is the fact that not only does he have blast armor, he does also have the extra draw of the restore of the gauge and stuff like that is what I need to say. I'm not so sure I needed this, but I decided to pull it just because better safe than sorry. I didn't want to try to tap and then not get the kill, so we landed. So not upset about the particularly, but like not really rising rush control, but the Dragon Ball game. Look at the instant rising rush. I do sub out, and we're going to throw this Frieza away. Why, you may ask? Because the yellow Frieza does still have some value in this match because he's type advantaged versus the purple one, the purple 21 specifically, and then also has the ability to be neutral versus the 18. So I felt like there was no liability on my team, long story short. So, okay, we're going to go for the green here, draw another blast. We do have the strike to close the distance. We're going to go for that first. The most annoying thing with that type of card, the green card in this Frieza, is like you have to do like a full hand of blast, you drift in a little bit, use another blast, drift in a little bit, use another blast, etc. So here was an executive decision. If this is not a showcase video, I probably don't switch into this Frieza, use a couple blasts. I probably just stay with the other one because the other one might have just killed 21, right? In which case that would be good. But even if he didn't kill 21, he probably switches to 18, which could have been a rush target. So that was an executive decision I made because of this being a showcase video. I pulled the blue here because I had no other move. I could have tried to be patient, but from my experience, most players go quickly, so I'm not upset at that. But yeah, we're gonna just kind of just let this Frieza die. Which is kind of, you know, the weird decision to make. I get the sub-side step. Predictable. I love that play. But just in a weird spot here. I get caught. Do not mid-range strike. I got caught with a mid-range strike because you know what it is if I use, I don't know why that cut so fast. If I, 14-star Gogeta, my goodness. If I see an animation from mid-range, I am predisposed to click the strike. Like, it could be a green as you just saw, and I'm pulling that strike. I just need to be more patient on those with the blast armor characters specifically. Not only, but mainly. Oh, hey, look, the blast dash-in thing I was talking about. Dropped there, that's okay. I believe a quick charge would have been fine, but no biggie. We do go ahead and do the knockback. Just enough key for the blue. I really love the knockback into the green, by the way, as opposed to the blue. That one is awesome. I love the green card utility on the knockback from this Frieza. Unfortunately, that's not what I got, though. So Gogeta Blue is melting. Look at one blast damage. My goodness, he's melting. I went for that because I didn't want him to get the knockback. Super greedy play. What I did there, let me just pause this really quick. I got caught between wanting to use the blue and the blast because I knew he'd probably switch out, but I was like, okay, I could just stay with this Frieza. Look at Gogeta, the stance. I could just stay with this Frieza and just go, right? Because he was doing good damage. But I got what I wanted, got the knockback. The quick switch into the yellow Frieza's blue would have been the prime play, but I got stuck between wanting to go for the blast with both Friezas, actually, coincidentally, and just basically missed it. So it was really greedy, but the thing is, it was super high reward, because if that landed, that would have done, the blue card alone would have done like 70% of this Goku's HP probably. So I just was thinking a little too far ahead. So this is fine, not worried about that. Okay, we're gonna sub here. Slight drop. Okay, didn't matter. Could have stayed with Frieza a little longer. Could have drew the main, get the gauge and all that stuff back, but I tried to save that for a little bit later. This is a very problematic match for me, by the way. I talked about the anti-revive stuff. Oh, hey, it's almost the same thing that happened earlier. If this was the revived Frieza, I would have used the blue from distance, by the way. I couldn't because, as you see, it's a close range one. Anyways, so I kind of talked about it earlier, how Gogeta's a problem. And what happened there was, you know, I'm looking at it and I'm like, oh, Gogeta's there. And I'm like looking again and I'm like, oh, wait, Goku and Frieza, or Goku and Vegeta are there, excuse me. And it's like, oh, so just revive is horrible right now. So I'm going to go out of my way to try to make sure that I just don't get revived for a while in this match. Anyways, if you kind of watched it there, I got hit with a mid-range strike again because he went for, what, a blue card with the Gogeta. I'm super predisposed in my gameplay to do that, and I have to make that adjustment. Frieza's animation is super quick, so that Rising Rush will land in that scenario. Not all of them do, some of them don't. Some animations are a lot longer, as you guys know, and one of the main ones that I get called on is Super Vegeto's animation being a really long one, and you don't have to wait for it, but I still do it because it's just a habit. And people tell me every single video, and I'm like, dude, I know, but I can't help it, right? So anyways, Frieza's is super quick. So anyways, we have the priority here. This is another executive decision for Showcase, and look at that damage. Not mad at that. Gonna sub. I think he forfeits here, actually. He kind of didn't need to, because I don't think that was killing. I don't think that was killing whatsoever. But again, executive decision to let him do some damage, but it really wasn't really all that bad, because it's not like, you know, the yellow Frieza would have done all that much anyway. So, okay, so here we have a match versus the GT team. I pull off the long distance green, and this is what I wanted to do last match. Literally beat for beat what I wanted to do last match. He subs, so he's caught in that animation. I wound up doing extra damage to SS4, obviously, because the blue card hits all enemies. Love to see it. Go for the single. He doesn't bite. He actually pulls out and goes for a tackle. Did not expect that. But that was a good play to use the main there, in my opinion, because what happens is I pick up the green, which if I had got the knockback, I would have went into it. I did not. But I pick up the green and the sub count down, and yellow Frieza is already available. So that's part of, again, like I pointed out earlier, the utility of how quickly this team can really, if they start rolling, how quickly they can sub. So he's trying to bait me out. I'm just going to bite on it. That was intentional. We do get the perfect out of it, though. I'm super happy about that. But he, I believe, tries to bait me throughout this match a ton. And there are just a few times where I just pull it because it's just like, okay, I know the activation speed of my character, and I kind of just don't mind it. So we're going to pull the rush here fairly early. I subbed in advance expecting the Omega sub. So even if I get guessed, I can get him as low as possible. I'd imagine type advantage makes the difference here. We don't get guessed, thankfully, and we do get the kill on Omega. He kind of just doesn't really do much in this match, clearly. And I'm happy about that because getting rid of the red character, obviously freeing up my LF Frieza, is a very big deal. Didn't expect that. I'm going to sub here, get the Dragon Ball destruction. Super excited about that, and I believe he goes quick with the ult. There it is. So he's going to try to eliminate this Frieza right now because in his mind, he's thinking, okay, SS4 Goku needs to get rid of this guy. I mean, needs to get rid of this dude because SS4 Goku's back there, and obviously this guy is a problem, right? So Gogeta is going for it. Doesn't get the kill, thankfully, and we do get the heal from the Frieza. Super excited about that. Just stalling there, wasting time. If I had blue Frieza, I would have went for his blue card there, but I didn't. And I pulled the blue there, like I said, just because a couple of times in this match, I'm just pulling it. It is what it is. But I believe that time I wanted a sidestep that I did not get. But again, I'm just trying to not. He's neutral, so he's doing a lot of damage. I'm trying to make sure that when the Goku here is in, I missed that, unfortunately. That would have been a good one. I'm trying to make sure that when Goku's in, Frieza Blue is in. And then when Frieza Blue is out there, if he goes to Gogeta, I sub pretty much instantly when it's available to me because I don't want to have the revive pulled by the Gogeta. So right now I don't mind this matchup. When he switches, he's rushing. That's horrible. The thing about rushing the revive character is it's insane value because you get the kill probably, even if you don't get guessed, which you wouldn't have. You get the kill. And you pick up 4 Dragon Balls instantly. with that Gogeta and his equip combo, right? So like I had to switch out, and I really wanted to keep him around, especially because this Frieza, who's really good in the last man standing scenario and stuff, and has the healing and stuff, blah blah, he's really good. But I really wanted to keep that other one around just because the blast armor utility and stuff like that, the damage that he does for my team, etc. I pulled that one there. He subbed. We're good. Trying to get him with a single. He doesn't bite on that. I believe I tried to get him with a green. This one I didn't need to pull. He waited me out there. I didn't need to pull that one. By the way, I don't feel as terrible about getting the revive activated here. But the timers are not that off, right? They're not that far off. Yeah, so he didn't get it. Okay. But by now, I kind of don't feel as terrible. But the problem is I've seen people get a second Rising Rush within like 15 counts, dude. It's crazy if they land a kill on an endurance character. But that Gogeta just, again, such a problem, such a threat with the utility he has with blast armor. I believe he still has one more cover change available at least to cancel and stuff. And he thought he destroyed my ult. He didn't, thankfully, because it was not available. Excuse me. I got his vanish. He does this. Not particularly happy about that. But again, this is time for Frieza to finally get the revive. And really, if you take nothing away from this match, what I want you to take away from, if you take anything away from this match, excuse me, what I want you to take away from this one is the fact that the Frieza has largely controlled this match. This match has been, out of every match in this video, it has been the most, what's the word, chess match type of, oh boy, I was upset when that happened. Because I got that one, but I just didn't swipe quick enough. Anyways, this one's been the biggest chess match thus far of elements and of mechanics. We have been going at it, and I believe he pulls the second up there, the second rush. And it's unfortunate he's pulling the second rush here because I really wish we just didn't, because I wasn't going to use my second one. But now, obviously, mine's not far away, and I won't feel bad about it. I never really do, but I was really liking this match because it was like, you know, nip and tuck. It was very close match. So anyways, I've got this Frieza here. It's unfortunate I didn't use his main earlier post revive to get rid of the Dragon Balls. I'm using it here. Very little value in that. He might have had one. Did he use our arts card there? Maybe not. Nothing. So okay, I'm gonna go here. Was a rush available? Yes. Was a rush available? I believe on SS4 Gogeta. Probably. But I purposely avoided trying to use it here anyway on this Goku because obviously I needed to use it on Gogeta if I was going to use it on anyone. The second rush made the big difference, but I don't really mind losing that match just because we got to see him in action and we got to see him defensively and the utility of revive character. That's not exclusive to Frieza. The utility that revive characters have in the game and the way that they can kind of control matches. Endurance characters have a lot of the same utility because that second life is very powerful, very impactful. I expected the switch there, and I got the hit on the blue, the Super Saiyan Blue Goku there with the blue card, and now from mid-range, he's done. Peace. So yeah, anyways, Bardock is here. He's already almost dead, by the way. He did pick up endurance, but wouldn't you know it, I have a character on my team that nullifies endurance. This match is almost already a formality at this point. I'm going to go ahead and sub out because no reason to let him take that damage. So yeah, I really do think this Frieza is pretty nice. I really do like what he offers the team, though. Okay, so I believe I switch here. Yeah, I do. I wanted to get rid of a Dragon Ball here. So, okay. We do get the knockback as well. So as soon as I get priority, I'm going to try to really just punish him here. So the Gohan switch, he's running like a Sun Family / movies type of team, which is kind of ironic because Bardock isn't in Sun Family because it's not Goku's lineage or whatever. It's the Sun Family with Grandpa Gohan instead of Bardock as the main, you know, head of the household, if you will. And then also it's a movies type of Z abilities, I believe, from the bench as well, right? Do I remember right? And it's like Bardock's not in movies either. And Gohan's in the leader slot, which I get, but like Bardock also needed to be in the leader slot, so it's just kind of weird. Anyways, I kind of just messed around and got Purple Frieza killed. He didn't need to die, but it is what it is. Like I said earlier, this match is almost a formality at this point. This guy's dead here. No endurance for him. So in this match, I kind of wanted to see what Gohan could do and how much damage the Gohan would be doing to the Frieza, the blue Frieza, obviously, in this match, and how much he would do back. Ooh, excuse me. I have a yawn. Okay, so this Frieza just took from one blast, by the way, what was that, like 60% damage? I don't know, 50%, 55, whatever. Like he took a good amount, though. So I'm going to go ahead and sub back out. And this is very BM. I don't recommend doing this ever, but I wanted to do this specifically for this video. Do not do what I'm about to do. So good damage, not mad at that, right? I didn't have to even banish that. I really should have just took that hit. So I'm just getting myself beat, if you couldn't tell. I should have just took that hit. I'm not so sure as to why I banished it. Probably instinctual. But, yeah, I'm just going to get him beat here. Just kind of just, yeah, just let him die. I love the stance, by the way. Yeah, again, don't do that. That's pretty BM. Don't do it. Just play the game. So he's getting beat here. Tap punches. He goes for a tackle accidentally, probably. Okay, there it is. Cool. I believe also that this was probably the first match I got revived in before I shuffled the order that you guys are watching them in. So at this point, I think I kind of just was like, you know, I just want to have this in the stupid video because there are actually matches I cut from this video that are not, you guys aren't seeing, that I never got the revive in. And it just was like, dude, like, I can't even get the revive. And that's not a bad thing. That's a very good thing, you know? But I couldn't get the revive, so I kind of just forced it there because I just wanted it to be in the video. Fortunately, I kept playing, came across better matches. Oh, man. Oh, your boy's tired. Oh, man, did not sleep much last night. Okay, so Gogeta back again. Like I said, main problem pretty much. Such a powerful unit after that equip came out. Cannot understate that. We do get the switch. We did for the third time or fourth time in the video, the long distance green, blast card, dash in, blast card, whatever. I absolutely hate that. I hate it so much. Pull that there, missed. Didn't expect the switch strike, but okay, it is what it is. Red Gogeta is one of the only real like reds that's super relevant in the meta. If you would even call him that specifically. Drop combo there. And we are off. Not really. So again, just can't let him get the effect pop. Tried to test the speed of the animation there. Found out it wasn't quick enough. Okay, don't have anything really to do here. He pulls the green, I use my green. The idea there was if he tried to go for something else, I would have just got priority there. Like even a rush, I believe I would have got priority over. So that's what the idea was. Okay. It's also nice that these Friezas do have the sustained damage up blast card in the deck. But it's just really just all blast all the time. We picked up 2 strikes. There's what, 3 in my entire deck probably. So not a ton of those in circulation. But it's all blasts as well too. Excuse me, blue cards as well. So I'm not really mad at that. Okay. I go for a tackle here. He obviously sees it, so vanish. And peace out, Vegito. So SS4 Gogeta is coming back. Got the stop clock, got the vanish back. He's dead, and we are in prime position to win this match. He is not dead, actually, but we are in prime position regardless. Want to pull that quickly, just like last time. All right, so all in all, though, Frieza's an awesome character. If you run LOE or Frieza Force or Frieza Saga, I guess, you definitely are going to want to pull him and own him. Outside of that, though, I don't think you really need to go for him unless you're running like powerful opponents and you want to have him as a revive character for that team, I guess, as well. But I don't really think he's a character you need to pull outside of, obviously, his teams, which you could obviously say applies to other characters. But the point I'm trying to make is that, like, he's not a character like the tag character which obviously, right, where you kind of pull him no matter what, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, he's not like that, obviously. But I do think that for the teams he's designed for, which is most notably LOE, he is exactly what they needed. He is an awesome character and fits very well, as you saw and heard me point out several times throughout the video. So hope you all enjoyed. Hit the thumbs up and subscribe, and I'll see all of you next time.